Welcome to the Explainer. You know, sometimes the biggest declarations, the really game-changing ones, they aren't made in some big speech. They're hidden, often in plain sight, in a single, simple-looking graphic that's actually a blueprint for the future. Today, we're decoding an image out of Japan that reveals a pretty bold new vision for who controls our data. Okay, let's just jump right in. This is the central claim, and it's a huge one. What we're being told is that this isn't just some slick ad or a proposal. This is a national strategy, a geopolitical statement of intent, laid out for anyone who knows how to read it.
So that's the big question, right? What are we really looking at here? We're going to break this whole image down piece by piece and uncover a story about data, about identity, and about a fundamental shift in who gets to call the shots in our digital lives. So let's start with the first clue.
Right at the heart of this graphic, you see a company called Jasmy. Now, your first reaction might be, oh, okay, another crypto project. But honestly, that would be missing the entire point. It's where it's placed in this diagram that signals something so much bigger is going on.
I mean, just look at this. The graphic isn't showing some potential use case or a marketing pitch. It's showing Jasmy physically wired into the machinery of the Japanese government. That's a massive signal that this project is way, way beyond the theoretical stage. This is happening. And check out these workflows. We're not talking about small-time stuff. This is the most sensitive, most critical data a country has. Your healthcare records, your financial identity through banking, your taxes, your official ID. You just don't get placed here unless your tech has been through the ringer and is trusted at the highest possible levels. So what is Jasmy actually doing here? This is the key. It's building what they call a personal data layer, or PDL. The easiest way to think about it is like a super secure personal digital locker for all that sensitive info. The big difference, only you hold the key. You decide who gets access, when they get it, and for exactly how long. You are in control.
All right, so we've got a private company wired deep into government functions. But how official is this relationship really? Well, this next piece of the puzzle is probably the most critical signal on the entire chart.
The validation comes directly from the Japan Digital Agency. Now, to put that into perspective, this is kind of like getting a stamp of approval from the Department of Commerce, Homeland Security, and the Top Tech Standards Agency, all rolled into one. This approval basically means Jasmy's technology meets government-grade standards and is legally cleared for nationwide use.
Let that sink in for a second. Most blockchain projects out there are just fighting to be seen as legitimate. This one has already been approved to become a core part of a G7 nation's public infrastructure. It's playing in a completely different league. It's really kind of stunning.
Now, I know when you hear National ID System, your brain might immediately jump to surveillance, and that's fair. But this slide shows the critical difference here. Unlike systems where a central government tracks and controls your every move, Jasmy's model is built on what's called self-sovereign identity. The power literally shifts from the state to you, the individual. It's a move from being watched to being empowered. So, if the digital agency's approval was the official stamp, this next piece of evidence, well, this is the smoking gun. This is the one little acronym on this chart that proves without a doubt that this project is operating at a massive national scale. And that acronym is JPKI. It stands for Japan Public Key Infrastructure, and it is the absolute bedrock of the entire country's digital identity system for every single citizen. And again, look closely. The graphic isn't proposing this integration, it's showing it as already done. They are building Jasmy's secure data locker directly into their national ID. So what does that actually look like in the real world? Well, it means this technology could become the new backbone for how you interact with everything. We're talking social security, taxes, applying for a passport, accessing your healthcare. This isn't some niche app. This is the potential foundation of digital citizenship in Japan.
Okay, so we've established Jasmy handles the data and the identity. But it's not the only piece of this puzzle. The blueprint reveals another key Japanese player that helps turn this into a complete functioning system.
So the graphic also features this other system, Janction, and it's pretty simple actually. If Jasmy is the secure locker that holds your data, Janction is the engine that processes it. So Jasmy handles the identity and Janction handles the compute. One secures the who, the other powers the what. Together they form a national secure compute layer. But all this talk of a highly organized,
top-down approach from Japan, it kind of raises a question, right? Where the actual people fit into all of this? Well, interestingly, the answer to that might be coming from across the Pacific. And this is where the story goes global.
This table lays it all out pretty clearly. On the left, you've got the key components. In the middle, you've got the Japanese systems we just talked about, Jasmy for identity, Junction for compute. And then on the right, you see this American mirror, a project called Enkai. But look at that third row. Enkai is positioned to provide something crucial that the Japanese plan seems to be missing, the human layer.
So what on earth is this human layer? Well, think of it as the community, the people. While Japan is building this incredible top-down government infrastructure, Enkai is being described as the bottom-up interface that allows regular citizens to actually connect to it. It's the tool that would let you control your data, decide who uses it, and maybe even get paid when you choose to share it.
And this quote just captures the entire dynamic perfectly. It suggests this really interesting symbiotic relationship. One side builds the official framework, the rails and the pipes. The other side brings the people, the energy, the movement. It's a blueprint for a two-sided revolution in how we own our data.
So, we've decoded the graphic, we've identified the key players, and we've seen these parallel structures taking shape. What's the big takeaway? Why does any of this matter to you, no matter where you are in the world? Because this isn't just about Japan. This is a tangible, working blueprint for a completely different kind of internet. An internet where you, the individual, not giant corporations or governments, are the true owner of your own data and your own identity. What we've looked at today is one very powerful country's official top-down plan to build that infrastructure. And the question it leaves us with is, what happens when the people, the movement, finally plug into it? That's definitely something to think about.